Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Cheryl and we're on our journey to do Tai Chi 5 minutes every day. Today we're going to work on our balance and we're going to build from our basics of learning a bow stance first. So we're going to talk about our different stances that we have in our practice, and then our next class is going to work on our Tai Chi walking and really challenging our balance to move slowly and gain stability. All right, let's start shoulders width apart. Remember that this is the stance that we want to really bring into our daily life. So outside edge of your feet match the outside edge of your shoulder. Feet are perfectly straight. Use the floorboards in your home if you have them. Check in with your lower back. We don't want to have the legs locked and have a kink in our lower back. Let's bend the knees, relax the waist down. Starting with our upper body shape, if you'd like, you can join me in lifting those arms up. Remember, we want space between our fingers. Let our shoulders relax and the elbows hang down like there's weights pulling from your elbows, so we can really relax the upper body, feeling light and airy. I'm going to mirror you during this portion, shifting to your left. Turn and open your right toes 45 degrees. Check and look down. Remember, as we sink into our leg, we'd like to track the knee over the toe, and we're going to step that left toe directly out. Heel, ball of foot, toes touch. You're going to push out of your right leg and move forward for a bow stance. The requirements for a bow stance are that our front foot is straight. Our knee is going to be directly over our ankle. So if we're too far, we can lift our heel, not enough, and we can lift our toes. Perfect, and we're going to be able to kind of suction, cup, or Velcro our whole foot to the ground. We'd like to check in with our knees, really have them in line with your toe direction, especially that back leg here. So making sure we're pushing, that back leg is almost straight. Our hips are going to turn towards the corner direction. We're going to use our lower back or waist area to turn the torso to straight. We're leaning into it here, so we're not going to be vertical, turning to the side direction so that you can see we're leaning into it. So not here, here, like you're pushing something heavy. Okay, the next thing we want to check is, can we shift back and can we pick up? If it was difficult, I want you to step a little bit smaller this time and then move forward. Let's do the other side. Relax the arms, come back. We're just going to switch over to the other side, starting in prepare. Bringing our arms up into that hug a tree position. This time shifting to your right. Turn and open your left toes 45 degrees. Check, look down. How'd you do? Sink into that leg. You're going to step your right leg out. Heel, ball, foot, toes touch, bend the knee. Shift your weight forward, turn from your waist to bow stance. One thing we missed talking about on the first time is we'd like to have two lines between our feet. So if you turn your left toes to straight, there should very clearly be two lines. We really want to avoid having one line. We can create stability front and back with our legs, but we create it from side to side by having this width between our stance. This does take time. I want you to remember that. We're going to build on this together. So this is our bow stance. Checking, can you shift back and pick up? If that was difficult, take a little bit of a smaller step this time and move forward. Okay, stepping forward, relax the arms down. Okay, so that's our bow stance. The next thing we're going to work on is our empty stance. So remembering that we're going to have multiple videos. This one's just breaking down our basic stance work if you'd like to tune into those details. And we're going to work on our Tai Chi walking in the next video. So from our parallel stance or shoulder width apart stance, you're going to shift to your left. We're going to turn and open our right toes one more time. Check 45 degrees. This time when we sink down into that leg, making sure our knee is tracking over the toes, we're going to step out and touch with one line between our feet. We're going to touch with the whole ball of the foot and have some bend in our leg. Our hips are going to be over our heel, and we're leaning forward into it so that we have 30% of the weight in the front and 70% of the weight in the back. We have two types of empty stances. So holding, working on that position, we can touch with the ball of the foot. We're leaning into it. Okay? Really stick to the ground. Remember, we're not going to be here. We're going to feel that leg burning as we hold this position for about 30 seconds, and then we can touch with our whole heel. So the difference is that when our heel is touching the ground, our leg is a bit more straight. When our toe is touching, we have quite a bit more bend. The big thing we want to check is, do we have one line between our feet? So we have one line, and then our feet are on two sides of that. Again, using your floorboards is a great thing here. Okay, relax. Let's do the other side. So this time, shifting to your right, you're going to turn and open your left toes. Sink down. Remember, knee is in line with that toe direction. Don't let it hang in. Have that weight centered on your whole foot. You're going to pick up and you're going to touch with the right toes. So again, leaning into it, we're lifting through the crown of the head, but we have our whole ball of our foot connected to the ground. If we were in our homes, we could barely slide a credit card underneath, but the grass is a little bit different to see. Remember, we want 70% of the weight in the back and 30% in the front. We don't achieve this by leaning like this. Lean forward from your hips, fold forward to get that 30%. Change to the heel. Picking up, touch with the whole heel of your foot, leaning into it one more time. Again, we're not going to go like this. We're going to fold forward from our hips and lean into it. Okay, release, come back to center, shake it out. Remembering that you're going to build strength in your legs. So these exercises might be a bit of a challenge in the beginning, but we're going to keep building strength every day that we practice together. See you next class, everyone. Thank you for joining me.